Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of my RCT3 Megapark. Now, in the last episode, I basically finished almost all of the building. Well, all the spots are filled in at least. In this episode, I want to do some final touches. It won't be much, and the park is pretty much, already done. I got some comments after the last episode, and a few of them actually referred to the Dolphin show. And what people actually told me is that with the Mix Master, which is normally used for fireworks shows, you can actually also modify your Dolphin shows. So that's what I'm going to try out first. So here we have the Mix Master. And indeed, it does show our Dolphin show here. So let's click it. So here now we see this editor. So first off, there's this hoop trick. Let's just play it. So apparently this part has a hoop trick. So the dolphins go around. You see the trainer put her hoop there. And then the dolphins jump through it. Okay, and the next one is the skiing element, which featured prominently at the end of last video. She jumps on top of two of the dolphins here. And now she goes around skiing basically. Alright, there's a few more of these, so I'm just gonna paste two of these after it. So let's check out what we have here in Dolphin Show. A few of them look like they aren't actually available. There's triple jump, balance ball, and hoop trick. Well, hoop trick is what we just did. I believe it's one of the standard ones. So I'm not really sure why some of these are grayed out. There's no tooltip either. Maybe you need to unlock them or something. I have no idea. Anyway, there's swim around. Well, that sounds pretty boring. I guess the dolphins just swim around. There's tail walk. I'm gonna try that one out. And let's include a few other ones. There's jumps. Sure, why not? Yeah, I'm not gonna add swim around. So we will have tail walk, jumps, skiing, and hoop trick, which is grayed out for some reason. Alright, I'm just going to quickly check what these look like. I will fast forward it a little bit. Alright, looks like the dolphins are all coming out to check the trainer. Ah, yeah, the famous trick that you can often see in these dolphin shows, where they swim backwards on their tails. And finally here we have the jumps. So they all come to the trainer, who applauds or gives a signal. And I guess they will start jumping up. Yeah, there they go. Alright, I will make the park available probably after the next video. I should probably tell a bit about how I want to do it with this last video. So basically in this last video, I will finish the park, and that will be the last building. And after it there will be one more video where we take a ride on all the coasters. And then after that the video will be made available on my Discord server. Okay, the Dolphin show has now been extended with these extra segments, so that should be fun for the guests. Alright, the park's not completely finished yet. So basically what I want to do first is simply add some benches and some bins to some of the paths. There's many paths in the park, and quite a few of them don't have any decorations like benches or bins, and well, the bins are probably not really decoration, but as you can see, there's quite a few spots where guests just throw their stuff on the path, even right next to a litter bin, which is quite rude in my opinion. But I will just add a few of these bins and benches throughout the park, maybe also some lamps, and that should definitely improve the situation, and also will make the paths look a little bit nicer. Alright, yeah, I just went through the park and placed more litter bins and some benches throughout the park. Now, I do believe all this trash that the guests are throwing is mostly because the bins are probably full. I did see, oh, you can actually see how much full it is, or you can actually see stats for your litter bins. I actually didn't know that. I still learn new stuff about this game every day. You don't actually see information about the litter which is actually on the ground. I maybe would have liked to see who threw that here. Anyway, yeah, that was just some decoration for the paths all throughout the park. I think this will definitely help make the paths look more interesting. So, something else which I should probably still do in this episode is, yeah, simply place some extra foliage here and there. There's a few spots which could use a little bit of foliage. For example, this spot over here. Yeah, I'm just gonna spam some of these kinds of trees and plants. Now, I've done a lot of these giant ferns throughout the park, so probably I'm just going to mix it up with some more of these wheat plants. I really like these plants, and it'll be nice to have some variation in the park. A comment I received from someone, I believe it was McAndy89. He said the island was maybe a little bit too, yeah, too square. And it could probably use some more irregularity, some more jaggedness. So yeah, I'm actually just going to make a little island here, because I agree with this comment. So I just lowered the lead here a little bit. Actually, I could probably take this a little bit further. Alright. And yeah, like I just said, I'm going to make a little island here. Oh, that's just great. For some reason, the game doesn't let me raise the water level up any higher. I'm just gonna do some quick troubleshooting on this. I hope it's not the sharks that are actually stopping it. It does look like it though, because the water level refuses to raise any higher than these footers. So yeah, I'll quickly check what stops me from raising the lead any higher. Okay, it seems to indeed have been the shark that stopped me, but I'll try to replace it and make it look just as nice as it did when I placed it here earlier. Alright, time to continue with this little island here. So, the reason I've built a little island here is a very special reason. You probably did something. You've probably done something like this yourself. So, just going to make a little path on it. Let's see if I can find something that looks nice. Alright, and there he is. This island will from now on be called Park Inspector Island. So yeah, it's going to add some trees on it, some plants, and let's hope he stays on here. This will be his new home. Alright, yeah, I love this wheat grass. It, yeah, it's such an easy plant to fit in really everywhere. I mean, just put a clump with a few of these plants, for example, over here. I think this already makes this area look much nicer. And of course, it also made my whole park a lot more pricklier. These plants actually remind me of one time when I went to London, I believe. And we were on the airport and there was a plant like this in a pot with a sign on it saying, "Sharp plant, do not eat." I really hope that the sign was put there as a joke, but you never know. Okay, I think this is quite a big improvement to the park with these extra plants in several places. Now, one thing I'm going to do now is simply place some rocks throughout the park. Again, this will just be a finishing touch. I will fast forward it, obviously. As it will probably not be that interesting. But yeah, some rocks throughout the park will definitely help yeah, make stuff look more interesting. I'll try to mix them up a little bit more. Alright, I already placed quite a few rocks in the last episode, so I think the rock placing part is pretty much done now. So, right now it's time for the... yeah, probably for the most exciting part of the episode, which is that I'm going to make a firework show on this island. Now, I'm gonna remove this boulder here, because I want this fireworks show to take place on top of the volcano in the middle of the island. For two reasons, actually. One, it's an easily visible point throughout the park, and two, it's a volcano, so it should shoot out some fire and stuff. Now, I will not actually make it come from out of the volcano, because that would be quite dangerous with that coaster. It would still be dangerous, but I plan to use this spot over here for the fireworks show. Now, I haven't made any fireworks shows before in this game. Maybe when I was very little. But I never done it very seriously, so this will be pretty new for me. So I'm just going to flatten the land here a bit, and then yeah, just play around with the Mix Master. Alright, what I really like about this interface is actually how you can see the fireworks effects in this little screen here. Now, I could of course just make a fireworks show with all kinds of random elements, but it's always nicer if there's sort of like a story to the fireworks. Well, story is a term I will use very loosely here. Of course, this fireworks show will be on top of a volcano, so kind of what I plan to do is maybe sort of build up, like have a few simple rockets shoot out at first, and then as it progresses, just make it, yeah, use more of these fountains to make it look like a lot of fire is coming out of the volcano, and then finally end with some big bad rockets, something like that. So yeah, I'm just going to search for some nice simple rockets at first to start with, launch them a bit, yeah, infrequently, and then later get more intense. Right, now that I think of it, instead of these 6 close together, maybe I can spread out some of these over the mountain, and then actually just set the top of the volcano ablaze. It will probably provide a more spectacular show for the guests. And for the viewers, of course. Alright, and I'm changing it back to daytime. Now, this was the first time I actually made a complete firework show in this game, as far as I remember at least. And I must say, it was actually quite fun to do so. Yeah, you'll see the results of this at the end of the video. Okay, there's just one more thing I want to do in the park. And it will be in the form of another entertainer. Now, I actually placed all patrons that are a member on my Discord server, at least in the park. If you haven't been added to the park and you are a patron, yeah, simply write me a message and I will still put you in the park when I make it available for download. For me, it's easiest to keep track of who I've already added in my park with the people that have actually become a member on my Discord server. So yeah, please keep that in mind if you're a patron and you haven't been added in the park yet. But yeah, please let me know. So yeah, I want to add another patron in the park. My patrons are not the only ones who support me while I build these parks. Actually, I get support from a lot of people, mostly in the comment section on YouTube, but also on Discord. So yeah, let's add another entertainer. Alright, this entertainer will be walking throughout the park and his name will be you. So, yeah, if you're watching this video, I've added you to the park. So I hope you enjoy your spot in the park. Yeah, and with that, I think all the building I want to do in this park has been done. So yeah, as I said before, there will be one episode after this in which we will take a ride on all the coasters in the park. And when that video has been released, then I will make the park available for download on my Discord server. So yeah, that will probably be tomorrow. Alright, I hope you enjoyed watching me build, and for the rest of this video, let's take a look at the fireworks show which I just created. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you again in the next video. See you later!